Landon Collins said earlier this week that, again, they were going to concentrate on Zeke. They wanted to put the ball in your hands because they think they had a better chance.
Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted.
I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys. What up? Blue and silver, baby, yeah, that be the colors. 5 Super Bowl trophies, that's the number. America's team, everybody love them. Shout out to Jerry Jones, yeah, cause he be the owner. Hall of Fame players in the ring of honor. The defense suffocate like anaconda.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back to the Pick Last podcast. We're in the Palladium. We are riding high off of a wonderful win this past weekend. It was a wonderful day. Sunday couldn't get any better. Division game week 2. Dallas comes out on top. I'm here playing to the crowd.
The worst part is, this might be our best intro.
I know.
Sound-wise and flow-wise, it was perfect.
Quality-wise, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
All right, so to my left, I have the one and only Bryan.
Thank you.
Bryan McCormick.
That is true. It's not true, but I'm not the one and only Bryan. There are
There
millions,
are
literally millions of
There's
us.
actually 2 in this household.
That's true.
One with the Y, you know.
That's right.
Yeah.
One's with the
right.
Y.
One with the
other one's
Y.
the I.
Well, when you go by Bryan with a Y, you cut down the fraction of how many there are.
It's 50% less
exactly,
Bryan.
50% less Bryan. So he's 1 in a million. There's a lot of millions of people here, so maybe we'll see. To my right, we have Andrew Parker,
hello.
resident
The fiery
Giant
Andrew
fan.
Parker.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he's on a tear.
We're burning it down today.
And welcoming for the first time.
I spoke too soon. This intro sucks.
Yeah. Whoops. My bad. We have Joey Martingano sitting across from me.
Thank you for having me here, guys.
No
Thank
problem.
you. I appreciate it.
Welcome to
J Mart, longtime friend of the show.
Yep, always happy to talk sports with you fellas.
The one guy I know who could break down sports gambling better than a sports gambler in Vegas.
I bet you 4-1 that you're right on it.
I guess I have to take those
I have
odds.
to take the odds, right?
Because literally,
I gotta bet the under on this.
because I was talking about I made picks to be prepared for today, and I was telling my friend at work, I was like, oh, this is what I have. It's like, oh, what's the over under? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I just pick winners and losers. It's like, and then I thought to myself, like, oh, thank God Joey's on the fucking show this week, because then we could, like, if we ask him like any sports betting questions, he might know.
Oh yeah. Spreads under over.
Also, I can't think of a better person to talk fantasy with than J Mart, resident 7-time champion between baseball and football, and God only knows
man.
what other sports he plays fantasy for.
This
Thank
is
you.
the Troy Aikman to Jim Kelly matchup in fantasy. There's one guy who always wins the matchup, and one guy who doesn't.
Oh, I always come up close. I'm
You
always
always
second.
do.
It's
You're
always me
always
and him in the
there,
finals,
you know?
or
Mikey has
I
4
lose in this.
appearances and no rings.
I have
He has one ring. He has
I have
one
one ring.
One ring.
Yeah.
It's the Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan.
It's the one that rules them all.
Yeah, we do have
a
a lot of heads up.
yeah.
Finals up
Peyton
here.
Manning.
So
Tom Brady
that's
does.
what.
That's what I was
Eli
showing.
Manning versus Tom Brady.
Well, they
I
only
would
met twice.
say. Well, yeah.
You met like 17 times.
All right, that's also true. You're not wrong.
Yeah,
It's
you know,
either-
Peyton Manning, when he knocked out the Chiefs every year,
that's true. Yeah.
poor Tony Gonzalez, bad for the guy.
Oh, Togo. He couldn't
Yeah.
even get away from it in Atlanta.
All right, so guys, simple question for you guys: what news do we have to go over this week?
What news do we have? We have a big trade in the NFL. I believe it's Josh Gordon for a bag of balls.
Ooh, big old bag of balls.
Big old bag of
Big old
balls.
bag of balls. I think there might be a draft pick
Big
in
old
there.
bag of brown
Yeah,
balls.
I think a late
There's a
fifth
fifth.
round.
Yeah.
Fifth, and I think that if he doesn't do well on his drug test, I think that they get an 8th round pick and the pick back. I believe.
There's 7 round picks.
Yeah.
You know, there's only 7. But
Yeah, they get an 8th round pick.
if he doesn't play 10 games, I believe it becomes a 6th round.
Okay, so it drops back down.
Yeah,
Okay.
if he has to
Oh, it's
play
a
10
conditional
games.
pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
See, I think for them, it wasn't so much about getting like stuff in return for Gordon as much as it was like they kind of wanted to do right by him and like
Well, no,
because they were gonna release him,
Yeah.
but then when they realized there was going to be a bidding war, they're like, oh, okay, we can do this.
Yeah.
But I think there were definitely teams offering more than a 5th round pick. I like to think. some teams that are a little more desperate than the Pats. But I think the Browns wanted to do right by him and send him to a team that they know that will kind of make sure that he's on the straight and narrow. You know, they're not going to send him to like the Bengals and just be like,
not in division.
Yeah. Well, you know, just like a team like them.
No, yeah, like I could totally get that. Like I could understand like wanting to do right by Josh Gordon, but if they wanted to do right by Josh Gordon, they wouldn't have spent like 3 years rehabilitating the guy. Say he wasn't supposed to play week 1, let him catch a fucking touchdown, and then say,
get his hopes up. And, you know, like I understand that from what I understood, it was he hurt his hamstring while doing a photo shoot, and then showed up to practice late, complaining about it and not wanting to work on training.
And I think for them, they saw a bunch of like red flags that they've seen before.
Yeah, a lot of red flags.
Because when it was coming out, a lot of people go like, "Oh, well, he's probably either about to get popped for like a drug test, like and suspended, or like there's something else about to come out about him or something."
Was the photo shoot for the team, or was the photo shoot just like a personal?
I think it was probably for like a sponsor. I believe, or something like that. It was
because I was gonna say
like to the team.
If it's a team photo shoot, like if he did like a football card,
and
like it was something for like the NFL and something for the team, and he got legitimately hurt, or like may have gotten close to being hurt. Because I saw he was out there catching passes today in practice, and he looked pretty good.
Yeah.
But like, if if it was their fault that he got injured, then like why would they give him such a hard time for being like, I don't want to do this today. Like I'm a little banged up. I want a little rest.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
Yeah. I just think it's one of those things where when they like, because it was not a team related thing.
Right.
They're like, all right, clearly there's still something going on with this guy.
Yeah.
They're seeking a culture change in Cleveland, and they don't want to deal with this kind of stuff
anymore. I'll tell you how to do it.
So they were going to cut off.
But it's also
man, they should be 2-0 right now.
It's disheartening.
Horseshoes and hand grenades.
It's disheartening because you see this guy work so hard to get back, and he's like finally back, and he starts to feel a little aggravated injury, and he doesn't want to go to full 100% and then hurt it, and then guess what? He's out for the rest of the season. Or guess what? He's out and misses a whole bunch by the time he gets back. They don't really need him anymore because the new replacement's there.
Yeah.
Like, so it's kind of frustrating to see somebody like that, you know, try to be cautious and get punished for it.
Well, we don't know if
like
that's the exact situation.
Yeah.
We don't know what happens behind closed
doors.
doors.
And no one on the Browns came out and was questioning why was he traded or anything. Like Tyrod didn't come out or these guys didn't.
Yeah, I think they're more worried about him just being like, I hope he's all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Jarvis Landry didn't come out and say shit. So.
Right. They're not saying, we shouldn't have traded him or anything like that. Like, the Raider players came out for Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I even heard John Gruden came out and said, we need a pass rusher. Like,
He said, like, it's really hard to find a pass rusher.
Yeah.
And someone's like, get this guy a publicist. Like, stop letting him speak.
Somebody I saw on Reddit, somebody was like, why is he saying, what? Like, can somebody please save this guy? And he's like, what does he need saving? He has a 9-year contract. Like, he's good right now.
But Carr was upset when Mack got
traded.
And no Brown seems to be upset that Gordon's gone.
He also was a major like lightning rod for any criticism because he's, anything could go wrong. Josh Gordon is there, like he could be in the middle of it, and I think they need, like you said, they need a culture change. But I don't think Josh Gordon's the guy you need to change.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying they kind of wanted to. They wanted
to.
They kind of wanted to just cut those ties and get that out of here as far as a culture change. Where it's like they don't want to hold his hand anymore. They've given him ample time.
And sending him to the Patriots also if he doesn't do well there, can hurt his stock throughout the rest of the league.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you had a chance to. You have one of the best quarterbacks, one of the best systems, and one of the best run organizations. You couldn't fucking catch on.
Where else could you go?
Exactly.
So is this his last chance then?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think if this doesn't pan out,
he's going to be playing for the CFL.
Yeah. Like XFL.
It's
coming.
XFL.
It's coming
Josh
back.
Gordon. Jameis Winston and Josh Gordon to the XFL.
Jameis Winston.
On the Colorado Blaze.
Oh, yeah.
And
when are we getting team names for the XFL?
Never, because it's gonna happen.
Probably never gonna happen.
Well, it's all owned by Vince McMahon, so it's like gonna be like the Hulk Hogan. Like,
well, was that announced this year or was that last year?
Last year.
Last year for next year, I think.
Yeah. So
Also, I don't think Hulk Hogan would have any.
'Cause I think
he's back, baby.
Is he?
He's back.
I think in
wow.
I
2019
didn't know
they
that.
said they're going to announce the
Yeah,
teams.
they're gonna be playing in fucking like Stanford, Connecticut high school.
Oh, I know. It's gonna be great though. It's gonna be great because it's like watching a car crash in slow motion.
I mean, honestly, I'm down. If New York has a team, let's go to a few XFL
Then we
games.
can agree on a football team with Mikey.
Yeah,
finally.
Yeah, that's the beauty of
No,
the
you know what the thing
XFL.
is? The funny thing is, there will be a New York team, but he'll still root for the Dallas team.
XFL fantasy football?
Oh, my god,
man.
Sign us up
We could-
right now.
If that happens,
We
we're
can do
starting to pick last XFL league.
Dude, we could do it ourselves. Like, we don't even need Yahoo involved.
We just need Google to find out who the fuck these people are.
Hey man, if you want to score that, because I used to score a
I know
fantasy
you used to
league,
wrestling, that's
and
why.
it was not fun.
All right, let's move on. The next bit of news
Sorry.
is the Steelers and their traveling circus continues to get weirder and weirder every week.
Mhm.
Not only is Lev Bell still not there, he's now not on the roster.
Yes, not on the roster.
He is getting fined left and right. His offensive line still hates him.
They should.
You think? Do you think it's? I mean,
I see both sides of the story.
Okay.
If I'm a player, though, it's like get your ass on the field.
Right.
We're
But-
killing ourselves.
but would you go out to
But,
the media and say that?
Yeah,
No,
would you
maybe
go
not.
against?
No,
would you
no.
go against him and?
No, I would maybe keep it in house and
Yeah.
talk to him directly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I look at it like a sad high school breakup where both sides are being really petty, and all the players are like those friends caught in the middle. Where they're, you know what I mean? Like all
Yeah.
the linemen are kind of sitting there and they're like, well, you know, it's really
like,
not
look-
right that we have to be caught in the middle of this now, and you know, it'd be really cool if you guys got back together and made it easier on our lives. Like, and then they're just being petty and like taking him off the depth chart in the
Yeah.
roster. It's like taking him out of the Instagram bio.
And this, it's been kind of a growing issue. Antonio Brown didn't show up for practice on Monday.
Yeah.
He came back. I think he may have had a personal day.
Well, he looked real heated on Sunday.
Yeah.
I think what's going on is that, you know, while this whole Lev Bell situation is happening, they're getting used to the new play calling. Like, Todd Haley's gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is Brown working under a new coordinator for the first time. And I think, you know, there's some problems there. There's
Little
some
growing
button
pains.
A
heads.
little friction.
You literally, like, you saw him mouth to the offensive coordinator, trade me.
We
Because he
also
felt like he wasn't getting fed.
he got tweeted at. One of the fucking Pittsburgh writers said that Lev Bell's a system running back, Antonio Brown's a system wide receiver. On any other team, he won't be as good as he is right now.
Yeah,
he's got to thank God for Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
And then Antonio Brown fired back because he's one to do that. He's like, trade me, see what happens.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll take him on Dallas, guys.
Well, here's
I
what
think
We
anybody
use him.
anybody would take
Here's
him.
what bugs me, and this is like, as a Giants fan, as someone who's watched all the shit Odell takes.
Mhm.
Like, Odell is showing up for a 3-13 team every week. He had no problems with his contract. He came to camp. He showed up, shut his mouth, and worked.
Yeah.
And he got paid. But it was all this, oh my God, they're going to trade him. He's a distraction, blah, blah, blah. I got to listen to this whole fake narrative when I'm watching this guy show up and kill himself with his team. And then I'm watching Antonio Brown, like, threaten reporters, say to trade him, getting in his coordinator's face and saying, fire me. And this dude just gets a complete pass. Like, nobody is
'Cause he
looking
twerks.
at him.
He
Yeah, the
twerks.
same way they look at Odell.
Yep.
But I
There's
also.
BS.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No.
Well, I also feel like Odell, for the first few years of his career, the distractions were more so him being a distraction on the field with punching the net and stuff like that. Like he was a crybaby for a while.
I would say the only one that crossed the line was the Josh Norman fight.
Yeah.
And that was on
Yeah.
both of them.
Yep.
The kicking
Most-
net and doing
mostly on
whatever.
Odell, though.
I've watched Antonio Brown get in coordinators' faces. I've watched Mike
Mm-hmm.
Evans throw helmets. I've watched
T.O. used to do it.
I've watched Tom Brady
Guys did
yelling
it.
at people on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Like, the kicking net, I feel like, is a non-issue. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like I said, it's blown up into a big issue because it's Odell.
I also think that. Oh, sorry.
No, I don't think it's because it's Odell. It's because it's New York.
New York
Yeah.
media.
Well, yeah,
As
that's
I was
it.
just
It's
gonna
also
say.
the market.
I was just
Biggest
Yeah.
media market in the world.
I'm
And
just saying with
also
all
that
this
all
Brown
happened.
stuff.
That all happened within like the same 2 weeks of. I think it was like 3 weeks. It was like Odell like flipped out on the sidelines. Then the next week was the game against Josh Norman, and he flipped out on the field and off the field. And then the next week is when he like punched the net and he came back and hit him, and like everybody just kind of attached to those.
It
3
was definitely the
games.
same season. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he had a rough season. It was the season they went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
The McAdoo Coughlin season,
Yeah.
whatever.
And that was the year the Panthers went to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 That was his. What was it? His first or second year? second year.
Second year, I believe. No, it's the second year.
Second year.
Second
Yeah.
But
I mean, the kid had a lot of pressure on him. He didn't know how to handle it at that point because his first year was injury plagued.
Yeah.
This is his first full year. He had a lot of stuff on his. I mean, I don't know why we're talking about Odell.
well, I was gonna bring it back.
But,
around to
but
Brown,
like
yeah.
no, Antonio Brown has been consistently being really rough with the media in Pittsburgh. I think he said he was going to choke a reporter. I think
yeah.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah.
and like Odell, like
And that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like this guy just
yeah.
nobody cares, and
I-
it is the market, like you said. You know, it's Pittsburgh compared to New York. Part of the reason I blame for all this, I was having to talk about this earlier, is I think part of the blame is on. It's like, you know how when you see a kid grow up and kind of mimic their parents because it's the way they were raised.
Right.
I feel like in a way players imitate their coaches, and Mike Tomlin is a very like emotional coach. And I feel like it comes out in the way you see people like Brown and Bell being so vocal in everything that goes on and like loud whenever there's issues. Like nothing is behind closed doors with that team.
No,
You know what I mean? Everything's out in the open.
Yeah, they make it more
Yeah.
out in the open.
And I think it's just something, just the way that team is run. You know, they're a very loud, in-your-face, emotional team. And I think part of it is that's why, you know, we see that. So, you know, that's just my 2 cents on the matter.
No, yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
I just think that the Steelers need to figure out something behind closed doors on how to keep everybody in.
They need a
'Cause
fucking bye week.
it's
That's what
well-
they need.
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
like,
for
not
real.
only that, but they need somebody to come in and just like teach them the basics of PR. Because when
They don't need. They're a $1 billion organization. They
but-
shouldn't have a guy.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The problem is like not only do you have Antonio Brown, but then you have the offensive line talking bad about their running back, which they shouldn't be doing because not only now when the running back comes back, he knows that the offensive line is like talking shit about them. He's not going to trust them. They're not going to trust him. You know.
And then he's
like,
going on Twitter and, like, commenting on the games.
Yeah, like
That's why I said it's like a shitty high school breakup, and everyone's posting about it on Facebook. It's like, keep your shit to yourself.
Where are they? They're 0-1-1.
They have
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
record as the
Right.
Browns.
They're 0-1-1.
1-1, yeah.
But we're talking about them right now.
Mhm.
So, in their mind, any publicity is good publicity, whether it's
do you need
positive or negative.
do you-
We're talking about Antonio Brown right now.
But do you need
yeah.
publicity as a professional football team?
I think so.
Fans are gonna watch
I
it
think
either
you gotta
way.
get eyes on the eyes
I
on
think
the
it's
product.
also each situation is its own, and seeing the Steelers as a team that's like always been a contender, this is a big deal. Like if this was the Patriots, it would be a big deal.
Yeah.
If this was the Tennessee Titans, nobody would give a
You
shit.
think they're jealous about
You know
the
what I mean?
Browns because the Browns had Hard Knocks and they're like, well, we're also a fucking mess too.
Yeah,
But I mean, if you look,
Yeah, no, I was gonna say maybe this is a good deflection. It's taking the eyes off of Le'Veon Bell, right?
yeah.
So
Mhm. I
Bell's
see that a
out,
little bit.
but now we're talking about Brown. We're talking about the offensive line, and we're talking about Mike Tomlin. So
Yeah.
it's not all about Le'Veon Bell, who hasn't reported yet. You
Mhm.
know, we're talking about players who are currently on the roster and playing.
yeah,
Even though it might not be good, at least it's off Bell.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. Good
That's
point.
also true.
Very good point.
That's
Yeah.
also very true.
Is there anything else? There was some superintendent jackass down in Texas who said some shit about Deshaun Watson, and Watson handled it like a fucking gentleman.
Yeah.
100%.
Said bless him, which is obviously code for get
Yeah,
fucked.
he said like some
Yeah.
real racist shit to Deshaun
Yeah, he
Watson.
said the quote was he left it on Facebook, which obviously if you're on fucking Facebook, don't fucking say shit. 'Cause you're gonna get
Absolutely
caught.
true.
Especially if you
absolutely
hold
right,
a status of power
Anything.
over anybody.
Yep.
You know.
Correct. Yeah.
Don't fucking write on NFL memes. They will snap you.
Oh yeah.
That's what it's about. So
Was it literally on NFL?
I think it was on NFL
Oh my
memes.
god.
So because I think the meme was Watson talking to O'Brien and he's just being like, I'm just gonna run around for a little bit, but it's gonna be really awesome, I swear. And he's like, well, and the superintendent goes, well, if you want a precision decision maker, never trust a black quarterback. And oh boy, should not say that.
I'm surprised. I mean, granted, he handled it
Well, like a champ.
absolute class. Yeah.
he's
But
a-
I'm surprised he even acknowledged it. I mean, they asked him about it, right?
They asked him about it in
Yeah.
a press conference because they were doing their weekly presser.
Yeah.
They had asked Bill O'Brien, J.J. Watt, and then of course Deshaun got asked, and he reflected. He bounced off of it
Yeah.
like a fucking wayward tackler, spun around,
Well,
threw
you know
a
what?
touchdown pass. That's what he does.
It's on the
what he
reporter
does.
then, because it's like why do you need to bring up like some
Well, I
idiots?
think
Why give him that attention?
You have to ask these questions.
Yeah, but like.
Yeah.
Because
If
it's
it's
also
like a Facebook comment, why do you need to give it the light of day and like
'Cause he's
ask
a-
why
he's a
this about it?
Superintendent and got
Superintendent.
reported.
Oh,
for it.
okay, okay.
Not
'Cause-
like reported, but like the news reported on
Oh,
it.
if the news
So,
reported
yeah,
on it,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
'Cause I was gonna say if it
No.
just had a lot of likes and was like
No,
the
yeah.
top comment, and some
Yeah,
reporter
no,
asked
no,
Joe
reporter
Watson
would-
about it.
reporter
and
wouldn't
like,
do that.
It's like
what a
if
shithead.
fucking somebody goes up to Landon Collins, goes, "Well, my uncle Jack said
Yeah.
you're pretty slow because you come from Alabama, pal."
Like, why is the superintendent commenting on?
Like, no.
Yeah, ugh.
I mean, if
What
it's
a
on
mess of a
if it's on
situation.
Facebook, you could see why somebody might comment on it and not think anybody. But it's one of those things where it got back to him, and it
Of
got
course.
him in trouble, put him in hot water, and then that's something that is reportable on.
That's why you
know?
see most of the time, like teachers and people who work in like a public space like that, like don't have Facebook.
Burner
You know what I mean?
accounts.
Yeah, or like
burner
yeah,
accounts.
like or they hide their information
Burner
like that. Yeah, a burner Facebook.
Kevin Durant had 5.
Yeah. We don't talk.
then he
We don't
forgot-
talk about that sport here.
And he forgot to log in to the right one and fucking shit talked everybody. It's the best.
Oh, what a blunder that was.
All right, so I think that does it for news for now because we're going to get into a lot of stuff in our recap.
Yeah.
We got a heavy recap coming this week. Fantasy check-in, how'd you guys do this week?
I won 1 league, lost 2. Not a great. Actually, high-scoring games. I just got the lesser of. the
So
high-scoring
you won
games.
and then you lost.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a little advice to everyone out there that plays fantasy. Don't overthink shit. Take the simple route. Because everything I read and everything I heard said, don't play Kirk Cousins this week. Sit Kirk Cousins. Not going to be a good matchup for him. Popular streaming option, Tyrod Taylor. Who was sitting on my
Wow.
bench? Tyrod Taylor.
Wow.
Who led up like the 4th most rushing yards to quarterbacks? The Saints. Play Tyrod Taylor. I fucking lost my week because I didn't play Kirk Cousins, who
Should-
put up close to 50
Should have
points.
listened to that superintendent, though.
Yeah, I should have.
That's right.
I should not have
Yeah.
trusted.
Well, when you're right, you're right. When
The
you're
ends justify the means.
when you're alt-right, you're alt-right, I guess. Joey, how'd
Yeah, I
you
was
do?
Always
4-1.
trust your
4-1.
cousins.
4-1 this week.
Jesus
so.
Christ.
I wish I was as good as fantasy as Joey.
I had a good week this week. So that's for
How
sure.
do you have the time?
It doesn't take a lot of time.
I got suckered back into fantasy football.
You
Thank you.
should have
You're
gone
welcome.
for Punches League. You know?
Nah, it's
Yeah.
alright. I don't want to deal with it. Is Chester still in it?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
It's one of those things. I always get confused when people like Andrew, and prime example. And I have this conversation with him a few times. I'm always like, yo, I need an extra guy. What you do? And he's like, no, I'm in 1 league and that's enough. And I'm like, it takes 5 minutes to pay attention to it over
For
like
football,
for football. It's
Yeah. Baseball's
you
just-
I'd rather whole-ass one thing than half-ass two
Yeah.
things.
just whole ass 2 things.
I just got
It's very
burnt out
easy.
from the whole fantasy thing.
That's true. You were also in charge of a league for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I-
tough.
the
Money
thing is,
league
like-
organizing stuff.
For this league, like, it's a money league. It's 12 guys, $100 each.
Yep.
Like, the top 3 places get prizes. So, like, this is the league I give my all. I'm looking up, like, making waiver moves each week, streaming a lot of things. Like, I'm paying attention to it.
Mhm.
And I don't want to join another league where it's like, I don't know if you guys, it's a money league or if it's just like a fun league. But I feel like I'm not going to give as much attention as I do the league I have $100
Of
invested
course,
in.
of course.
You know what I
there's
mean?
Money leagues, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I also lost my matchup this week, but it's fine because my big concern was Aaron Rodgers not playing, and he played. So
And you did.
did you
Yeah.
start him?
I started him.
Well, I'm kind of in the shithole.
But I
this
also
week.
had AJ Green go off, so I thought my week was going to be great.
Yeah.
And then everything else happened. I was like, okay, whatever.
I'm
Good
kind of
Thursday start for you.
I'm in the hole this week because
That Thursday game's a real fucking cocktease.
I
I'll
have,
tell you. It's like, yeah, everything's going well.
It's either
I don't trust Thursday games.
no,
I hate it.
one way or the other.
I mean,
It's
if
gonna
it's
be
like
extreme.
Antonio Brown, I have to play him in the Thursday
No, yeah.
game. But like, I don't like Thursday games for fantasy. But I'm kind of screwed this week because Mixon's out, Jay Ajayi probably out this week. So I kind of had to step up Kerryon Johnson and hope he shows up this week.
All right.
And as a 12-man league, there's not many backs available on our waiver wire.
There is
So-
not.
It's like the only guy I could really pick up right now is like Theo Riddick. So I have like both Lions running backs, and I'm like, this is
Yeah.
gonna suck.
Well, they could.
On the
they-
same time, it looks like Blunt's not gonna get a lot of touches this week.
No, Blunt's just in
Blunt's
there to
done
fight.
pretty
Yeah.
much.
So I think between the two of these against the Pats,
Is
I
it a
should be
PPR
good.
league?
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta
So
think Riddick could go off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I picked him up for that PPR option.
Yeah, but they're gonna be playing from behind. You would think.
Yeah.
Brady coming off a loss. He's gonna be on the mission this week.
And I think he's gonna play, but Evan Engram had an ankle issue Wednesday or today.
He's always got something.
Yeah, but I think he'll play. And Houston always kind of is like the Giants when it comes to tight ends and defense. So I should be fine.
Yeah.
But
Ingram's a good player.
Yeah.
0-2, hoping to turn it around this week. Playing Cousins every week from here on out.
There you go.
Except that bye week.
Hey, Joey, real quick. What do you think? Drew Brees against Atlanta or Aaron Rodgers versus Washington? In a separate league, not in the one that
This
I'm
isn't
playing
our
in.
league?
This is not in our league. This isn't a separate
Rodgers
league.
versus Washington.
You would think so, right?
Go.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta love Breeze in a dome, but you can't go
Cool
wrong
breeze
either
in the
way.
dome.
Mhm.
You can't go wrong either way with that. Like
Yeah.
I could see both quarterbacks going for 30+ this week,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. I mean, it's,
I think the reason I said Breeze is you could hope for a shootout there, where Aaron Rodgers gets it to an early lead.
Mhm.
They got Aaron Jones coming back, so they might start running the ball a little bit against Washington.
I might
I
stick
would
with
go
Brees just because I also have Kamara.
well, we could get to this in our fantasy picks in the middle of the season. In the middle of the
Yeah,
I thought this
yeah.
was just fantasy.
No.
Sorry.
This is our
my
fantasy
bad.
check-in. How
Oh,
we
okay.
did.
Oh,
When we come
okay.
to our fantasy picks of the week,
My bad.
we'll get back to this
Yeah, I
conversation
forgot.
because
I
we
apologize.
still have a whole recap
Let's
and-
get going then. Let's
and a
get
perspective meltdown on our hands. So
Uh-oh. Who's melting down today?
I don't know. Well, stay tuned.
All right,
Okay.
and we're back from the break.
And this is our sponsor. Okay, so now our recap. We're going to try to do like what we did last week. We keyed up a couple of games that we were all very interested in, and then we're going to fire through some games that maybe just didn't hit the bill. So we're going to do with our we'll go with the ones that we want to talk about. First one, obviously, Bills versus Chargers. I said this was a game that the Chargers needed to win to show what kind of team they were. They were lucky that Vontae Davis decided to fucking retire at halftime.
I think the game was well decided before Vontae Davis left.
I mean, they were lucky when they came into Buffalo. That's basically it.
That has to do wonders for your confidence when another guy quits the other team at halftime.
Be like, I did it.
yeah,
I did it.
You're like, man, we're doing
A
great. We're doing
10-year
great.
veteran too. You know?
Yeah.
So-
Well, he, like in his statement he put out, if, like for what you want to take it as, he said like, I realized like we're 2 games in. I realized at halftime like my body, I can't do this anymore. And I'm like, yeah, you probably could have finished out the game.
You could have.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I thought. Finish the
Yeah,
game.
Be like-
of course.
Go up to the coach and be like, "Hey, boss, the fucking back hurts."
Did you
know?
see people dug up his old tweet? That was like, it was like Vontae facts from like 2012, and it was like, a true winner never gives up, like you never quit.
Well,
And it was,
Vontae Davis is not a true winner.
yeah, they were like, you don't believe you don't
It's true.
subscribe to your own morals.
They never really won.
Yeah.
Joe, what do you think what's going on with the Bills? Like they were a hot team last year. What's going on with them?
They didn't believe in Tyrod.
They got rid of
Yeah.
Tyrod.
You think it was Tyrod?
I
mean,
100% think it was Tyrod.
I think
yeah.
it was a number of things.
well,
Yeah.
what did they go 8-8 last year? They just squeaked into the
They just-
playoff. You know, they just got there.
They got there on a wing and a prayer.
Yeah, and you know, Peterman wasn't the answer.
I mean,
I was
Andy Dalton
curious.
got them into the playoffs.
Yeah, but I was curious to see what McCarron could have done with Buffalo.
Right.
You know, but
It seemed like
all
a
the
waste of time.
injuries.
Yeah.
they don't have weapons out there. McCoy's a little old. They're stacking the box with like 9 guys in there.
Yeah.
Is he still playing McCoy?
Yeah, he's still out there.
You got
No, yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's an unfair rub on McDermott right now because it's like, what can he really do with that team right now? You know what I mean?
He's got to ride it out. You know? That's the
Yeah,
whole thing.
exactly. Everyone's
it.
already like, oh, yeah, this guy McDermott. It's like, what do you want him to do? It's the same situation, and we'll get to it, that I think the Giants are in, where it's like, when you're like 0-2, there's not much you can do right now. You kind of have to ride out the season. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
what miracle moves can you really make from like a waiver or a trade really mid-season? You know?
Well, I mean, if you're looking good, somebody's gonna be like, "Hey, you want this for a first round pick?" Like,
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
But okay, so that's the Bills Chargers. Not a lot. The
Yeah.
only reason why we want to talk about it is because fucking Vontae Davis stealing headlines.
Basically,
Yeah.
if you stream defenses in fantasy, keep picking up whoever's
Yeah,
playing Buffalo.
exactly.
Just
Anybody.
keep doing that.
It's same with your quarterbacks. If you're like, I don't want to play this guy, and there's still a couple of starting quarterbacks out there, just keep picking up
Yeah.
everybody else. Pats and Jags. Mikey said it was his game to watch of the week.
I did, and I said that the Patriots were 8-0 against the Jaguars, and I thought that this would be the one week that they would beat them. And what do you know? The prophet was right. I was correct. the Jaguars squeaked one out. I wouldn't even say squeak one out. They just straight up. I think they played a little bit better. They contained Brady to, enough to prevent them from, winning.
Yeah.
If that makes
that makes perfect sense.
If I told you Fournette wasn't playing, you would still pick the Jaguars?
I think so because they had. I felt like the Jaguars also had. I liked what I saw with Yeldon week 1 when he kind of subbed in after Fournette got hurt, and I felt like their passing game was looking on pace for a good matchup, like a good game. I think the Patriots have a good defense, but I don't think it's like the best defense.
Who's that kid that made that catch? Was it Cole?
Cole.
Keelan Cole.
Keelan Cole. What a fucking grab that was.
Yeah.
You know, that's like he was behind him, one hand, and then over the guy's head. Kind of waved it in his face.
The amount of control he had on that ball
Just
with like 4
unbelievable.
fingers on it, it was insane.
Check that ball for the air. That's what I'm saying.
And this was similar to last year in the playoffs, right? They had the lead. But
Yep.
this time around, they actually put the, they actually threw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
They were more aggressive in the second half, and Bortles was making throws.
Do you like the fact that, like, this is for everybody, do you like the fact that now maybe the Jaguars are going like, all right, Blake, it's time to put it up. You know, we signed you to an extension. See it.
Yeah.
You gotta put it in his hands.
Yeah.
I think. Okay.
No.
I was gonna say. I think after week 1 with the Giants, I wasn't sold on the Jaguars.
Okay.
Like I didn't know if we
Like
looked
they
like
looked human.
I didn't know if we looked like a better team or if they looked like they took a step back.
Right.
But I think after this game, and granted the Patriots might not be as strong as they were in that game as they've been the past like year or two.
Okay.
But I think that, to me it was like, okay, Jaguars are for real this year.
All right.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
I think last year they were impressive, and I think it carried over well
Do you
this year.
do you think that like the there's a couple of teams that do like the next step each year where it's like to kind of it's like how the Kansas City Royals were in baseball, where they like one year they made it to the World Series but they lost in Game 7, and then the next year they rolled over the Mets, and because like that they had the team, they had the right players, just was against the wrong opponent.
Mm-hmm.
So they played New England last year in the AFC Championship game. So now that they have the right players, they have everything working for them. I think they got younger and they got better. A lot of addition by subtraction, and now they have Moncrief. He's a decent wideout.
Yeah.
You know, they could probably get somebody. Maybe they make a trade later. Who knows?
Yeah.
But they have the right players and the right pieces, and now they took on their biggest competition from last year and won.
Without Leonard Fournette.
Without
Yeah.
their stud running back. Yeah.
Because I think what I doubted coming into the season was they lost a number of receivers. Like
Right.
they lost Robinson,
yeah.
they lost Hearns, Marquise Lee was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, that's 3 receivers you're really down that you had last year. But they still look like they're for real without Leonard Fournette. And, you know, with
How are we feeling about these new Jaguars jerseys, though? These, like...
I like them.
I like them too.
Yeah.
They have a really nice color combination.
Yeah.
All
So
right, just
regardless
asking.
of
They got to watch.
Yeah.
They can't cross over too much into that teal territory because that's covered
Yeah.
by the
That's-
future world champions.
There you go.
All right.
There
Now we're going to go to the Great North.
Okay.
To the tie up north. Minnesota versus Green Bay. What the fuck's happening, guys? There's a tie every week?
Yeah, it's insane, and it's like it's always in the north. Like what's going on with the north right now in ties?
Can't kick field goals. That's what's up.
Yeah,
Let's talk about how wonderful Kirk Cousins did.
Kirk Cousins drops, I think, 4 touchdown passes, right?
4
Oh,
touchdowns, 425 yards.
Woof.
Dude,
Almost
think of
immortal.
how many fantasy points that would.
But you know what's
give
really cool to think about? How he plays Buffalo this week.
How he just didn't...
Oh yeah,
like how we said before, just any quarterback
yeah.
against Buffalo.
Oh yeah.
Vontae Davis comes back. Surprising move.
Well, that's the twist. He comes back at halftime.
The other side of it.
I think I don't know if I had the Giants versus Cowboys or if I had this as my game of the week.
I think you had this because I think that's the one I wanted.
Yeah, I think we all said like besides.
Yeah.
We said the
Dallas
Dallas Giants would be.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. So when we make our picks for the week, we take our team out of it, and then we just go to what other game you
One
think.
game.
Yeah, it's like going to be the best game to watch.
Yeah.
To give
This
it a
game for me
fair-
was like,
Of course.
you know, you had Cousins and the Vikings coming off of the 49ers game, and that was my previous game of the week because I was said, you know, between Cousins and Garoppolo, both hyped up this year, you know, are
Yeah.
they for real? So going into this game, I said, okay, well, they won against the Niners. Now to go up against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers after what they did to the Bears,
Right.
I was like, you know, this is going to be a game. Didn't think it would end in a tie, but Hey,
was
exciting game.
that OT roughing the passer call?
Yeah, that Clay Matthews
Yeah.
hit.
I mean, as much as we don't like Clay Matthews, and I think we've said it before, we don't like Clay Matthews.
No, he's a piece of shit.
that was a clean ass hit, though.
Oh, 100%.
He was a piece of shit with
It
a
was-
clean ass hit.
That's right.
It's
That ass is clean, but
yeah, like I said from the first episode of the week of the season, where I said like, this is where we're gonna find out what games are just gonna be totally fucked because of how the penalties are gonna work out, and I think that just solidified it, where you're not gonna be able to hit the quarterback at all, and it makes zero sense. He was mid stride, head down, going in for the tackle when Cousins threw the ball.
yeah.
I don't know if you saw, there was an earlier hit in that game where the lineman literally like wrapped up Cousins, but as he wrapped him, Cousins like pump faked,
Right.
and the guy thought he threw it, and so he let go of Cousins because he thought he threw it, and he didn't want to get roughing the
didn't wanna get
passer,
roughing the passer.
and Cousins just scrambled out. Like
That
the guy
actually-
hugged him and then was let him go. It
That
was like,
happened in a Giants game. The Giants against the Tennessee Titans when Vince Young was the quarterback.
Yeah.
It's young days. Huh?
Yeah, Vince
Wow.
Matthias Kiwanuka
oh.
came in with a fucking brutal sack, wrapped him around the waist, put him back about 5 yards. It's like listening for the whistle, thought it happened, let him go. Vince Young just takes off, and I
Yeah.
think he converted a 3rd and 20, and the Giants lost that game. So
But,
it's like,
like-
these poor guys don't know what the fuck the,
Yeah.
the penalty
Because
is.
he didn't want to get a penalty,
Yep.
so he let go of him, and the play was still active. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
The other problem is the officiating crews. They're a little different. So every game, there's not a
It's
consistent.
not uniform.
Right.
Yeah.
Some
Some
guys
guy-
might call a little like, you can get away with things with some crews that you can't with others.
Right.
And that's also going to be a
Yeah,
problem.
like a lot of veteran refs would probably be like, "I'll let them play." Like they wouldn't have called that, but like some maybe younger guys who are like, "Oh, I just had my ref refresher class." Like, "Oh, throwing that fucking
I
flag."
have to throw that flag.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. and it's
Like Ed Hockley ain't making that call.
No,
Hawk's out there
why?
fucking doing bicep curls. He's doing stuff.
He's like, I'd hit that quarterback too.
He's like, "Bitching my way, I got you."
But yeah, no, it's like you don't know what's a catch or what's a hit because it differs every game.
Every
Like you don't know
game.
what to do anymore.
Right.
You got to just do it and hope you're fine. You know what I mean?
Speaking
True.
of what a catch is, if anyone watches these highlight reels, Kansas City versus Pittsburgh, every fucking Kansas City receiver caught a fucking touchdown.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Pat Mahomes lighting that shit up.
And I know we talked about the catch the guy in the Jaguars made. Did you see the catch James Conner made?
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was out of bounds. It wasn't considered a catch,
I
but it
did
was like
see
a
that
straight up
too.
like
Yeah.
that was an OBJ catch.
Yeah.
I understand every one-handed catch they call it that. That was that catch. Like
That
he
was.
leaned back
He
and
leaned
like,
back.
And that was
oh my
from a
God.
running back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's named the
System
receiver
running
doing
back.
that.
And that's honestly
Right.
another reason I think kind of like the Heat's coming off Le'Veon Bell a little bit with the Brown situation is like Connor looks great through 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's killing it. So if that keeps up, it's kind of like, all right, we don't need
Yeah.
you.
Kid
At that
beat-
point, I don't know why they don't trade him.
Kid beat cancer. You have nothing.
Yeah.
Really to lose. He's a
Good
fighter.
story. Great story.
Great
yeah.
story. Yeah.
Just get a haircut and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what that thing is on your head. It's,
Oh, the
it's
rookie
not-
haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what there is there?
That's a
They're
rookie
putting him through
haircut.
it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd give him a pass after what he's done, stepped up and
It's like,
done
oh,
in
shit, we've
Le'Veon
been-
Bell's absence.
Yeah, like we've
I'd be
been so
"All right, shake your head,
competitive
kid."
because of you. You just shake your head.
At this point, it's like what's it called? Like good luck.
Oh yeah.
It's like the superstition.
Well,
It's
they-
like
they still
don't cut
haven't-
your hair. Yeah.
They still haven't won, so I guess he could be
Well,
like,
yeah.
all right.
But
Right.
it's like
True.
because I think the Steelers have said they're not trading Le'Veon Bell.
Now.
But it's like at this point, why not? If you have Connor who looks great in his place, like why not
Yeah.
get something for him? You know what I mean?
100% agree. Why not get a first rounder
Yeah.
or not like at least two second round picks?
Yeah, they might get something.
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe even they might because whatever team trades for him would have to sign him.
Yeah, they have to give him.
So
the
like they
extension.
might get something like maybe 1 second rounder or like a third or 2/3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they would have to sign him.
But still, that's more than they have now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So get something for him. That's what I don't understand.
They might wait till like the trade deadline approaches.
Yeah, and that's
a
what
lot of
that's
things
what I
happen.
said.
A lot of
Right.
things happen. on
That's
that
why I
trade
put in that
deadline.
prediction of Niners Nation.
Niners Nation, I'll take that.
Speaking of Niners Nation,
Niners Nation.
let's talk about these 49ers against these the Matty Patty Lions.
I had high hopes for the Lions this year. You know, I thought Patricia would be a good coach for them. but their defense looks like shit. All right.
Which is weird when your head coach is a defensive
defensive
coordinator.
coordinator,
you would think somehow.
I don't understand how they're playing this bad. I love their receiving core in Detroit.
Yeah, there was if you look at the stat sheet, a lot of them had a great game. I mean,
Tate Jones and Galladay.
yep,
Yeah.
even Theo Riddick caught 9 passes out of the
That's
backfield.
what I'm saying.
You know,
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
New fantasy pickup.
I mean, this game, the Lions definitely did what the Giants did. They waited to the fourth quarter to actually show some signs of life.
Right.
But I mean, the 49ers are just they're a growing team. They're maybe 1 or 2 weapons away from being a fucking legit contender.
Absolutely. You know, we need another wide receiver there for sure.
Oh, Beretta had 100. Damn. That running back is.
Matt Breida.
Yeah.
Yeah, Breida's good.
Isn't he leading the league in rushing yards?
He did most of his damage out of the backfield catching the passes.
I had to look it up because I saw the top 5 rushers in the NFL right now, and it's like the most bizarre list. Like you would not expect. It's crazy.
That's the early thing about football, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
you never know.
expect these guys to do anything
no,
good.
it's wide receivers. Yeah, Breida's leading with rushing yards with 184. Joe Mixon second, 179. Lindsey 178, third place. Miller 166, and then James Conner 152.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it's like a
wow.
weird
That's
list.
a weird thing.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
None of the regulars are up there.
No.
yeah.
Where's Gurley, Zeke, David Johnson?
And it goes to show like a lot of these running backs are like almost like pass backs now. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
that's
Like they're
what it
catching
is.
balls,
Yeah.
and
That's what the game.
taking them screen passes and check downs.
Speaking of checkdowns, a lot of transitions in this
Transition
recap.
mania.
Transition palooza.
Check down.
Check down. All right, so here we are. Giants versus
The
Dallas.
fucking Giants versus Dallas.
Giants versus Dallas, guys.
Wow.
Damn.
Oh,
Fucking guy's been sleeping for the last 3 teams. And he's like, oh, I'm not back. I'm
All
back.
of a sudden,
I've been doing a little bit more research. I apologize.
I was at work when this game was going on, so I was painfully watching the drive chart, going backwards, going forwards, going backwards, going forwards. You guys happened to be out and watching the game,
I was sitting right there, right behind you, watching this game.
just masturbating.
Let me
in
tell you,
pain.
I think I
Pain.
lost a piece of myself on Sunday. And everyone's saying, like, it's just a game, you guys lost, tough loss. But, like, there's a difference between just, like, losing a division game and it was, like, so many things that built up to this point of sitting through last year. It was, like, the longest football season I've ever sat through. I watched this team go 3-13. Okay, we go to the offseason. We hired Dave Gettleman, which I didn't like.
Okay.
Because he was the only GM, and I'll tell you this right now, he was the only one who walked into Mara's office and said, I think Eli has years left. Every other GM, I know for a fact, I forgot who it was, one of them said he's the 5th best quarterback in the NFC East.
Oh,
They
yeah.
put him behind Foles.
Yeah.
And honestly, I've been an Eli backer. I'm starting to think the offensive line and Eli are both the problems. I will give them that. But to go back to the offseason, there was the Gettleman hire. The Shermer hire I like. I think Pat Shermer, even when he was with the Browns, I thought he was a pretty good coach.
Right.
I thought he got an unfair firing there. He showed up in Minnesota, had a great run. And with the Giants, I like him. You guys know this because it's when we started the show. I was vouching, take a quarterback at 2. Don't pass on Sam Darnold when he's on the board. I love Saquon Barkley, generational talent, but we need a fucking quarterback. We have a 37-year-old quarterback with cement shoes and a garbage offensive line. And, we think we're a win-now team with this?
Mm-hmm.
I knew this was a transition year. I knew we were not playoff contenders this year. We talked about it on the show. We said 7-9, 9-7, interchangeable. It is what it is. But after the Jaguars game, I said, okay, there were positives. Going into this game, I go, we're kind of at an even keel. And then I watched, the first fucking drive of this game, and they looked like a team that didn't even show up. You got Landon Collins, who ran his fucking mouth all week, and he needs to shut the fuck up. Because not only last year did he go out being like, oh, Eli Apple's a cancer, this and that. Imagine if he said that under Coughlin. What would have been done to him?
Well, it depends on which version of Coughlin you're talking about? Is it early Coughlin where you actually
Prime Coughlin.
Prime? Oh, he begun.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
And then to come out in this game and go, well, we got to keep the ball out of Zeke's hands and put it in Dak's hands. You think every team that in the NFL that plays the Cowboys doesn't know to do that?
Yeah, that's literally the Cowboys base their entire playbook on they know people are going to try to put so much pressure on Zeke. Technically on both, but they know that Zeke's going to get the ball, and if he doesn't get the ball, then you have to adjust to the defense of the passing game.
So it's like, shut your mouth. You're now a captain of this team, so set an example. And then to say that, and then on like the first drive of the game, and I told you, I said, we're going to make one of your receivers look like Jerry fucking Rice.
Still nobody looks like Jerry Rice.
Well, still, I saw Tavon Austin look like the Tavon Austin people have been expecting for fucking 6 years, and all it took was facing the Giants defense in 2018.
I think Tavon Austin said that he feels like he's playing now like he was playing when he was at, what was it, Mississippi State? I think it was like
West Virginia.
Was it West Virginia?
Yeah.
I don't follow college, but so yeah, he says that he feels like he's going to be playing that role of how he played in college, and not where, people don't know how to utilize him. He feels like he's in the right spot right now. So we'll see how well we keep that up.
And to be honest, like I was saying, I know we're a team in transition. I know we're starting a rebuild, and this is going to take a few years. But, like, watching this game was like, hey, everything you thought was a positive on this team is now going to be exactly like last year. This is going to be the next longest fucking football season you've ever had to watch. You're going to watch the quarterback that you've been a fan of for years probably get carted off by the end of the season, and that's going to be the end of his career. Because if he keeps taking hits like he was taking Sunday at 37 years old, he is not making it to week 17. And I'll tell you that right fucking now.
That Jalen Smith hit. Boy, oh boy.
Crush.
And it's just like, I'm tired of watching, I'm tired of having high hopes and giving an entire shit about a team that's been not even mediocre, has been bad. We've started the past 5 out of the last 6 seasons 0-2. We've missed the playoff the last 5 out of the last 6 seasons. Ever since 2011 when we won the Super Bowl, the best we've been was the 10-6 year. Other than that, it's been like 9-7, 8-8, 7-9. 3-13. I sat in the stands last year and watched the worst franchise loss in history against the Rams when they lost like 53 to fucking 14 or some shit.
You had a fun time.
And this game was like the straw on the camel's back. Where now Giants games are going to be, if they're like in prime time again and they're not just on red zone, they're put them on in the background and play fucking Madden. Because if this team isn't going to fucking show up to play and they're going to look like absolute dog shit, why should I give 3 hours of my life every day to fucking watch them? I wish I didn't have tickets to watch them on week 4 and go to the game against the Saints. I wish I could get my money back. Because I know that game's going to be dog shit. And I'm tired. Yeah, I'm frustrated.
All right.
No, you have every right to be.
Yeah.
You have every right to be.
I agree. But what year you started following Odell's rookie year, right? Which was 2015, 2016?
I started really following football in 2013.
2013.
So it's been about 5 years.
Okay. You got a long way to go. If you want to keep watching
and
football...
Sure. People have watched football longer than me.
No,
and that
but not only that.
That doesn't really, equate.
Not only that. What I mean is,
I've watched sports my whole life. Like, I get it.
No, I understand. But
I'm just tired of supporting a dog shit team.
But what I meant by that was... People tend to forget this, and it's something that always kind of bothered me about, like, sports, is because when they measure up how good a team is, they always talk about how many championships have they won and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In the last
20 years,
no. In the last 20 years, I'm pretty sure that there were 12 different teams that made it to the Super Bowl, and 7 of them won.
But I'm not even talking about Super Bowl. Well, I'm talking like playoffs. We've made the playoffs once since we won the Super Bowl in 2011. That's been 7 years.
I understand that.
And that's why, I said in the group chat, I said, the Bills are the new Browns, and we're the new Bills. Because nobody takes us fucking seriously. We're a joke.
We get
embarrassed in every primetime game. They were literally, I think it was even DeMarcus Lawrence was saying, very happy the Giants took a running back. We love Eli. Because it's a fucking joke. The guy can't leave the pocket.
It's true.
And that's what I'm saying. It's the absolute unawareness of this team to say, hey, we should even look at a new quarterback. We should even, like, you know what I mean? And I know, as far as the offensive line, it's hard because there's like averagely like bad play, offensive line play in the NFL right now. Like you're seeing like C and D players getting like B and A money for like a term. I think it was used. I think they said it on NYG Daily, and a weekly, and it's so true because it's like there's just not offensive linemen to go around. It's just defenses are killing it right now. But I'm watching. They really broke it down, and I'm watching. The Dallas defense didn't do anything like crazy. They ran basic stunts, and it just completely fooled the Giants' offensive line. Like they had like 3 guys blocking 1 lineman, and DeMarcus Lawrence just coming right down the middle at Eli. I get it. Will Hernandez is a rookie. Barkley's a rookie. They're learning, but like that comes down to even just coaching, and that's on Hal Hunter, the offensive line coach.
I think it also had to do with a lot of underestimating, because if you watched the game on the opposite side, like I was, so I was seeing, Jalen Ramsey not only covering the middle flat, but he's also keeping up with Odell when Odell goes deep. You have Heath, who's following Odell's every move. Odell barely was able to get open. Heath.
Remind me later. I could send you videos. There's videos where Odell is wide fucking open.
I think there was like
Eli
2 plays.
Look.
I think there were like 2 plays on that, and Eli didn't get to the ball to him. I think it was one incomplete pass.
Even when Eli has time now, the man has PTSD. He's just waiting for that pressure. Because he's like, I've been in the pocket for like 2 seconds. This is weird. I'm not used to this anymore. Let me check it down to Saquon Barkley.
But that's the problem right there. Let me check it down
exactly.
to Saquon Barkley.
That's the other, like,
Barkley
that's all they
has
do.
to stay in to block at times.
Yeah.
You cannot just throw it to him in the flat 14 times. I think he had 14
I think he
yeah.
set a franchise record for rookie receptions on Sunday.
He had 14 touches.
He had 14 touches for an NFL history low 70 yards.
Yeah.
14 catches for 70 yards is an NFL history low.
And that's why, like, you're saying, like, because I said to him, I was like, dude, if this is what we look like by halftime,
80 yards.
I said I was turning the game off.
And then 10.
Yeah, I apologize.
I said I was turning the game off. I just put it on the background. I'm still gonna watch, but like I'm not paying attention.
Right,
So, this is a nightmare, especially to the Cowboys, who are like my most hated team. People say the Eagles. I would rather watch the Eagles win the Super Bowl 10 more times than watch the Cowboys win. I fucking hate the Cowboys.
I don't know why. I hate the Eagles more than I hate the Giants.
I don't know. It's just like the way I grew up. I did not like the Cowboys.
But my original point when I was talking about like the length is like there are going to be times where your team's not going to be doing well,
and that's fine. I can accept that.
All right. So what I was trying to say is like you knew from the start. You guys are coming off of a horrendous season.
Yes.
You guys drafted Barkley, who an amazing, exceptional talent, but he's not enough to win you 5 more games to go even 8-8.
The problem
is
that I think we're gonna be. We were 3-13 last year. There's a chance we can only win 1 or 2 games this year, if that.
No, the schedule softens up after the bye.
Towards the end,
like
but we'll
5,
see.
You have like 5 more games.
Because we also have had our one starting center go down with a broken ankle. And his backup we traded 2 weeks ago for a fucking Snickers bar.
Yeah.
And we have a guy who I forgot who's our center, but he's in those 11 years in the NFL, he's started 3 games under center, and he's now our starting center. That's what happens. My thing is like, I understand what you said, where you can't make all those changes in 1 year to go from 3-13 onwards, but I think we're gonna be 3-13 again or worse. I have no faith in this team after watching that game. That was like god awful, and the thing is, we put up in the 2 weeks we've put up 28 points, which is pathetic. I can't remember any time the Giants have put up like more than 20 points in the last 2 or 3 years.
They haven't put up 30 points
since we played the Saints
since 2016.
We had a shootout with the Saints like 2 or 3 years ago. That was probably the last time.
2016.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying is like when you were like, you guys are only, it's like a 2-score game. You guys are one big play and you're in this. I'm going. Yeah, but Mikey, like that is unheard of for the Giants. Like when we're down 1 score to the Giants, that's like being down like 4 fucking scores. Because we don't have an offense that can run the ball.
I totally disagree because I've seen Odell Beckham take it 80 yards. I saw Barkley do it last week when he did it against the Jaguars.
Yeah, did we win that game?
Well, no, but that's still one score
Yeah,
in
we don't-
20 seconds.
But
That's what I'm saying. Is like,
no.
your
Yeah.
reaction to
Well, I know,
that.
but I told you.
You guys need a new catchphrase.
I told you
Just
this
trust the
is gonna be-
system because listen, the Rams, they went out, they got Gurley. All right?
Oh, of course.
Then they went out the following year, got Goff.
Goff. Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
So going Barkley and then quarterback next year
It's not the
might
worst
not be
thing.
a bad idea.
And I'm not against it. I'm just saying, like, I know what this season entails. Like I said, it's not like I'm not a fan anymore. I'm still watching the games. I'm still a fan of the team. Like, I'm going in 2 weeks to the game. It's just like, I'm now resetting my expectations to, like, I know this team's going to be dog shit this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I know if there's, like, something I want to do on Sunday, maybe it's like, oh, I'm going to go do that. I'm not going to stay home and watch the game.
Yeah.
You know
so
what I
like,
mean?
So like you.
I know what to expect from this team this year
in the-
now.
in the
and it's
pro-
worse than my mediocre predictions.
But that was the thing. Like in the predictions for this year, you said that you saw them going 9-7, and you said that you could see them eke out another win against like the Saints and go 10-6.
Yeah, I don't think that anymore.
Did you really? But prior to that, they just came off of a 3-13 season.
Mm-hmm.
Did you really think that the 2-3 additions that they made would help them win 7 more games? Like,
because we have 4 different people starting on our offensive line that we had last year. 4 out of the 5 people are different.
Mhm.
But the only one that's still in line is Eric fucking Flowers. Patrick Omame looks like they cloned Eric Flowers.
Mhm.
Jalapio now has a broken ankle and is not playing anymore. Will Hernandez, I thought, would be a lot better. He's going to be good, but he's making rookie mistakes, which he's going to make. Honestly, Solder looks worse than what he was expected.
He was blocking people into the running lane, and then they would just release off of him and just tackle Barkley. Like, it was embarrassing
I could be
to
dead
watch.
wrong. This could all change by bye week because this is like I said, it's 4 new people on the line. They've got to gain trust with each other, and we're 2 games in, so that could not be the case. But from what I saw Sunday, that tell you, I'm not really excited to watch the rest of the season, at least for the next few weeks.
I think this is a
know
big
what this
week
team-
for you guys.
Yeah.
Because
Going
the
against the
Texans are
0-2
Yeah.
Houston.
But
they're an average team, so
I've said my piece on the game. We can move on to the next game.
Whoa. Hey, I have a lot of good things I could say about my
Well,
team.
Brian's giving me a move on sign, so
I'm saying whatever.
So I wrote down a few things that I would like to say that pros and cons that I saw for Dallas. I love seeing 6 sacks against any team, whether their offensive line isn't that great or not. I think that just gives them more confidence for next week, well, for this week when we play Seattle.
Okay.
Seattle's offensive line also just let up 6 sacks against the Bears, so that's looking real nice for us.
Then again, it's a little tougher when Khalil Mack is on the Bears and Eli Manning's not on the Seahawks.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But we'll
You
see.
got a guy standing there just saying, "All right, fucking him."
But now I've had 3 people come to me and tell me that they're streaming Dallas's defense this week. So I'm
Well, granted,
I'm looking
it wasn't
good.
it was like my 3rd or 4th choice, but
Okay.
it's still up there.
Seattle is also 0-2, right?
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yes.
So another thing that I didn't like was we were missing a lot of first contact tackles. So like we would try to tackle Barkley and we would just slow him down and he would get like a few more yards. What I did like about that was you would see everybody on the team once we got that initial contact. Everybody was there and he would only get 2 or 3 more yards.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really kill us. There was one play where he could have gone off to the crib, but 4 guys were right there to stop him, and he had to go sideways.
I wouldn't read too much into that because like that is Saquon Barkley. Like that would be like if I said like the same thing about like Gurley, Elliott, like they broke a tackle. Like it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Speaking about breaking tackles, I was really liking Zeke going up against the line, and any time you would see a lot of pushback. So his touchdown, he ended up going to the line twice, getting pushed back, and then going and continuing, and he got like a 5-yard touchdown or whatever it was. And there was another one where he got hit like 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage and then managed to get 4 yards towards the first down. It was really nice. And we finally started taking advantage of Dak's use of the option. Was it the RPO?
RPO?
Yeah, the
RPO.
RPO. Finally, after last week
Collins
not really
still
using
jizzing
it.
himself. RPO.
He had a few really big runs, a career high for him. I think it was like 43 yards or something like that.
Well, that's like when your offense is at its best, was when you run those play actions and those fakes. Because like Dak and Zeke have that down. Like those great fakes.
When you know, and I think that's why the Giants were so high on Barkley, is like when you know you have a running back who could, as Mikey said, take it to the crib. Stupid, but
It's a
when you know you got a guy that you have to watch in the backfield, the play action becomes such a weapon that it frees up, and that's what I think they hoped for, but the offensive line did not help them.
Yeah.
So, did Joey have any?
Yeah, and Dak running the option, a lot of the times he kept it, it was for first downs. You know? So he knew when to keep it and when to actually give it to Zeke. So I thought he did a great job with that as well.
Yeah.
I think, the division's still within anybody's grasp because it's
First place.
it's a bunch of it's 500 teams in the Giants.
Yeah, well, Wentz is back this week. So.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. It's a lot of. I don't think there's any division there. No, I think there's a divisional.
Let
game
me throw up a hypothetical. I want to know what you guys would think. Let's say the next few games go the way for the Giants that these did, with Eli taking all these hits.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he's not injured, do you think they switch to Lauletta and let Lauletta start? Or do you think they wait until we're like mathematically eliminated and maybe give him a start?
after mathematically eliminated.
Because I think McAdoo took the heat of like ending the streak.
Well, I have
like you don't have that. Like you want to have Shermer's head on a plate.
I have a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
I think Gettleman and Shermer played Mara. I know I've listened to your guys.
Yeah.
And how he said that, like, Gettleman's, they said, oh, Eli's got 3 or 4 more years left in him.
Yeah.
I think they purposely went out and got these terrible players to let him get his ass kicked at 37 to go like, oh, I'm fucking retiring. So he could walk out, head held high, I went out on my sword.
Yeah.
Not, you cut me, I signed for fucking $20.04 because that's the year I was fucking drafted like everyone else does. It's like he'll go, you know what? The game's passed me by. And it's his decision, not anyone else's decision. So they get all that money anyway.
Do you know that famous picture of Y.A. Tittle? With like the bloody head, and he's kneeled in the end zone like he knew he couldn't do it anymore.
Yep.
My fear is that picture with Eli.
Well, that's him. That was
Of him just like fucking like.
That's that picture that.
Yeah, that's the picture
now.
of like him with PTSD, and that was another thing where I'm just like, fucking kill me. It's like again like we're the joke. I mean, there's always been those dumb
Jalen
pictures
Smith,
of Eli.
I'm loving his play. Speaking of that picture, he's the one that caused that picture.
Okay.
I've also been loving his play lately.
Well, you guys stole him. That's
week.
basically what it was. You guys stole him. He was a top 5 pick that blew out his knee, and you guys fucking stole him.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna do a rapid fire.
Oh boy.
Baltimore, Cincinnati. AJ Green tears it up.
AJ Green does AJ Green things.
Yep.
And against Baltimore's defense, that's tough too.
It's another reason I hate Thursday games. Feels like that game was like a year ago.
It's true.
Yeah. Good point.
A few of my coworkers were actually like betting that game through their bookie, and I was like, honestly, I don't see the Bengals like winning that game. I was like, the Ravens
like
defense.
you were wrong.
I know.
That's
I
why
was.
I trust Joey with my bets.
Joey, would you have bet that?
Go to
same-
Joey,
would you have bet
not
that
AG.
game? Would you have had
Division game at home, short week, maybe. I probably would have took Cincy. Yeah.
Marvin Lewis in the regular season. Take him 6 days over Sunday.
There you go.
Marvin Lewis in September. It's like Andy Reid.
Exactly. It's like Andy Reid in December. Miami versus the Jets. Everybody on the Jets now are coming back to earth as
The real deal.
they think they're crashing right into the fucking center of the earth, but it's Sam Darnold put up 300 yards passing.
Yeah, they had some
Yeah.
good things that came from it.
I think he would have been nice throwing to Odell once in a while.
No, he wouldn't be playing. That's
Oh,
it.
yeah, that's true.
No,
true.
Darnold wouldn't be playing, so
Oh,
if he was on the Giants, he would not be playing right now.
Real quick flashback, because one question I had to ask you guys. If you guys hopefully you guys draft a quarterback this next year,
maybe.
does he play right away, or do you think that
No, you take another-
plays
It
through
depends on what Eli does.
All right, so best case scenario, Eli retires, they sign a fucking vet quarterback for a 2-year.
Mm-hmm.
They let him learn, and then that's in there. Because you give Shermer benefit of the doubt. You do what the Jets did with Todd Bowles. You give him the benefit of the doubt. That's what it is.
Depends on the quarterback too. Out of
Yeah.
college, is he ready to start?
If
That's
Eli
what
stays, they'll give him the first like 3 games just to be like, all right, do it on your terms.
Yep.
And then if it's like this again, They're putting in the rookie.
Yep.
Or if Eli retires, they're going to do like what the Browns did and maybe get like a Tyrod Taylor and the rookie.
Tyrod's a free agent.
Do like
this
you've
year.
earned the right to start, but we have the rookie in the wings. Like
Me
it
and
could be
Brian
something
talked
like
about that. We think they got a guy like that could be a Flacco, Joe Flacco.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Or
Flacco's
hey, maybe we even literally have Tyrod Taylor next year.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
he's not going to be a Brown next year. I don't think.
Yep. And we were also
No,
talking about
no way.
like the draft class, and I honestly think that the Giants front office was not warm on any of these quarterbacks that came out. I don't think they were high on Baker Mayfield. I don't think they were high on Josh Rosen. I don't think they were high on Josh Allen. I don't think they were high on Sam Darnold, because it all depends on what kind of guy they want. Like
Exactly.
the reason why Eli lasted so long and why they didn't want Eli in the beginning.
Yeah.
They wanted Roethlisberger, but Eli said he wanted to play for the Giants. And when a guy like Eli with this pedigree and the amount of pressure he can hold on his shoulders, no matter what year, like Eli has a lot of shit. Like, and he's earned a lot of criticism.
Yeah.
And he's also earned a lot of praise. But he never let that go to his head. He never let it go like any further. Where he's like, "Well, I'm the best looking player on the team. Trade me, see what happens." The only thing I think he said out of character was like, "I think I'm an elite quarterback going into a Super Bowl," which was at the time
fair.
Which was at the time a fair thing,
Yeah.
because his first year he didn't do well, and then the second year as a starter, he took the team to the playoffs as one of the most offensively proficient quarterbacks in Giants history.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's earned, and I have actually the Giants records from my time being alive, so 85 until now.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole when they've been in the playoffs, they've gone long stretches. So this is
of course.
this is nothing
I get
new.
it, yeah.
So it's like I see this is the Giants at the end of a quarterback era. They did it with Phil Simms. They go through a couple of fucking throwaway guys until
then they'll
find that guy.
Yep.
So they're
Yeah.
gonna go through a couple of throwaways.
Yeah.
And you have to. And the reason why, I mentioned it to you, it's like the Giants' way when we were talking about it last year with McAdoo, and why I was surprised they didn't let him finish the season, because it's not the Giants' way.
Of course.
The Giants' way is more of like a point of pride, not a plaque
Yeah,
on a
it's like
plaque on a
even
wall.
when things are kind of going shitty, like
You can
see
hold
it out
like,
until the end. and
fight it to the end, and that's what I think a lot of newer Giants fans. No offense to you.
No, of course.
I think a lot of, especially the ones who jumped on after the last Super Bowl.
2011, yeah.
I've been calling them paper fans, because
course.
whenever there's been a bit of wind, that paper fan flies off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the despair I've seen on the Giants subreddit,
Oh,
where
no,
they
yeah.
will find any reason to believe that we're going to the Super
And
Bowl
I
because
was-
of what that 2011 season did.
Right. And when you kind of hit me on.
I told you the one that I heard.
Which one?
They said, they were like, did you know that in 2007 we also started 0-2?
Yeah.
And Patriots signed troubled receiver Randy Moss.
Yeah.
This year they signed troubled receiver Josh Gordon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, wow, we are
They
fucking
get-
desperate.
They're grasping
I was
at
like,
straws
oh,
over there.
yeah.
No.
No, they literally are.
What
It's sad.
What I was gonna actually get you on is when we were talking in the group chat, and
Yeah.
when you said, sorry, I'm passionate and I'm not old. It's like,
Well, that was more because you were like, well, I've seen that. I was
well, like I said, I've
was like,
seen this
all right,
before.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's like I want newer Giant fans, because there've probably been a lot of clashes between old Giant fans and new Giant fans.
Of
And
course.
I had the burden and the pleasure of being brought to games since I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of Giants games in
Yeah.
my time. I want people to realize that you can't confuse passion with impatience. So you have to kind of let them grow, let the team grow,
Of course.
let them weed out mistakes, because it's gonna take a while.
I think-
They're still
I
a relatively
think-
young team aside from
Like,
Eli.
because when
But
Bill
that's what-
Parcells took over,
Yeah.
it was a long time before he got to the Super Bowl.
But I think that's the only reason, true, that I really have impatience is because I feel like we're like a supercar with like the worst fucking engine I've ever
Oh,
seen in
yeah.
a car. Where like have you ever seen a
You're
team
on-
waste two generational talents before in Barkley and Beckham?
Yeah, the Minnesota Vikings, Chris Carter and Randy Moss, Dante
Oh, there you
Culpepper.
go. Yeah.
the Cowboys.
The Cowboys
with
with
Des Bryant and DeMarco
Quincy
Murray.
Carter.
But like it's just
the
like,
Miami
it's-
Dolphins.
That's
with
what really
everybody.
frustrates
But
me.
it
is I'm like,
happens. That's what sports is.
Yeah.
Of
I mean,
course.
like, look, but
I'm a
but,
Mets
like,
fan,
Let's,
so-
yeah.
Well,
like,
yeah.
throw it to baseball. Like, just,
who are you
just
talking
imagine.
about? You're a fucking Rangers, Yankees, Dallas.
Okay, all right, but
what
all
the
right,
fuck have you
the
ever
Yan-
had to wait for?
the
in your
Yankees,
life?
the Yankees didn't win from 2001 to 2001 until 2009, and then they haven't won since 2009.
Oh, I'm sorry, you
Right
wanted-
now we have some of the greatest home run hitters playing the game right now, but we might not win a World Series for the next 5 years, and that's something that, like, look at all that talent that's going to waste. But
Sorry
I'm
to do this,
entertained.
but speaking about not winning another championship for 5 years, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Beautiful. Bring it back around.
Fitzmagic.
Fitzmagic.
Do you think it's a long-running Fitzmagic
I
season?
hope so.
I hope so too.
I have no idea.
hope so.
I hope he stays. Winston's a fucking bitch. I hope that Fitzmagic stays.
I mean, I do like
Sorry.
him as a quarterback more than Winston. I do hope it works out. I just don't know if he can't keep this up every week.
He has great chemistry with his receivers, and that's something that you can't just force away. You can't just be like, oh, well, Winston's back, so let's put him back in there. Like, right now, you got to ride it while it's hot. It's kind of like in roulette. If you see 5 blacks in a row, you're just like,
Is this
I'm
Texas?
going to bet this is
My
Texas.
supervisor in Texas.
He's
Are you
also-
going to bet red or are you going to bet black? Are you
No.
going to stick with your hot hand?
He
or
also had big plays like 80-yard touchdowns to Deshaun Jackson both weeks. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're not going to get that every week. So these
You're not wrong.
400+ yard games are due to 2 big plays a week.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know,
I think while
Chris
you're,
Godwin 70-yard touchdowns and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
I think while you're not going to get that every week, I do still think they're going to keep him in over Winston.
he should.
Yeah,
He's
because
earned his spot.
he's earned
Yeah,
it.
for
You see
sure.
him rubbing beards with the linemen. Like
Yeah.
Deshaun
The
Jackson
team
fucking
loves
loves
him.
him.
The team loves
like,
him.
and
For
that's
sure.
what matters. You
Right.
know what I mean? There's morale right there.
Chemistry.
Right
morale.
now, do you want to change anything that we said in the preseason about the Bucks? Do you think they're going to be a little bit more competitive? Do you think they're going to be in a playoff hunt?
See,
Or do you think they'll
don't
come
know
right
if-
back down to the earth?
I don't know if I want to change because I feel like I want to ride out all the predictions I said.
You wanna wait
Granted,
it out?
I made those under what I blew up to be Winston
Okay.
playing, but under Fitzpatrick, I do see them as more of a threat. I guess I'd say they look like morale is so important in football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah, chemistry,
No, yeah.
sure.
And
When you're feeling good,
when you
you're
have
playing
confidence,
good,
when you go out there and play, you play differently. And I think they look like a new team right now, and that's very important.
Yeah. No, he deserves it. He definitely deserves it.
Yeah.
Well, I had them going 8-8, so I can see them.
I think I had them like 12.
I had them going 8-8. So
I think it's mostly
can still see
Jameson
them
that I
do.
don't like.
I know.
I agree. I'm not I'm not high on them.
I know there were joking comparisons in that press conference, him looking like Conor McGregor.
Right.
But did you see the picture where it was like, who the fuck is Jameis Winston?
Yeah.
That killed me.
Speaking of killing it, I got to stop doing this. The Indianapolis
No,
Colts
it's great.
versus the Washington Redskins. Indianapolis Colts, I think, dropped 31-9. I think the score was
It was 21.
21.
Yeah.
Let me check. Yeah, I think, but Andrew Luck gets a win. Feel good story if you want to feel good about it.
I think they brought the Redskins back to earth a little bit.
21-9. You're right, Joe. Yeah.
21.
I think a lot of people got overhyped on that first Redskins win and were like, oh, I mean, it was against
Adrian
Arizona,
Peterson's
right?
back.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah,
like,
AP went off for 92
Yeah.
yards, and now AP did more of AP things.
because he's not facing Arizona's defense every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were terrible again
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah, so
Arizona.
that's what they're going to be. I think they're like one notch above the Giants right now, where I feel like they're a little more of a put together team, but like they're not doing anything this year.
Okay.
I could see them beating, like I told Brian, they could beat a top 10 team in the league, but then they'll lose to a bottom.
Yeah,
10
they're
team
that
in the
bizarre
league,
team
you
that's
know?
just going to keep doing that all year.
They could go anywhere from like 6-10 to 8-8.
Yeah.
All
I had
right.
them go 9-7.
I
I thought that David Johnson coming back, I thought that would have been.
Oh no, this is
Redskins,
the
Redskins.
Redskins, not the Cardinals.
Cardinals are gonna be awful this year.
Oh, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I
Sam
apologize.
Bradford's terrible.
Carolina versus Atlanta.
I
Yeah, this is-
was able to watch that game, and that was a fun game to watch. It was almost like it was kind of like a shootout a little bit, where it's just like who's gonna get the jump on the other team, and it was an interesting match to watch.
Sarkisian keeps his job another week.
Yeah,
Shots for Sharkey's.
I don't think he deserves it.
And
You
I
have-
watched it too. And I feel like with Cam,
Mhm.
you never know with him. Like, he should maybe be getting some calls, but other calls he shouldn't get.
Yeah.
He's a runner. Like,
No,
you know
yeah,
what
he
I
had a
mean?
he had a
So-
good stat line. Like he.
Yeah,
you know.
no, he played well.
You know,
Yeah.
when you
I was
said
just seeing if you wanted to quote stats. I just
No,
wanted to
I'm
give you
good.
when
the
you
heads up.
when you said that about Sarkisian, I was like, damn. When we talked about the Bengals, I totally wanted to bring up how Bill Lazor's offense went off. The laser firing offense. Still my favorite name in the NFL, next to Jim Bob Cooter.
I mean, they seem to have used Julio a little bit more than
Well, they kind of spread it around a little bit more. It looked
Yeah.
like they ran the ball a lot more. Coleman got 106 yards running.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, that's
The rookie running back, too, Ito Smith.
Yeah.
I think he had 40.
Devonta Freeman's out now, right? He's
Yes.
hurt.
Another 2 weeks.
So that's tough on your fantasy team. That's why I always stay away from Atlanta running backs.
I don't have Freeman.
A lot of people have Freeman. I'm
Sorry,
saying, like, to the
I thought
public.
you were talking to me.
To the
I
public.
apologize.
I don't speak to you. I speak through you.
I'm thankful I don't have
The
him
general
because
public.
Yeah.
if I had to lose 3 running backs this week, I don't know what I would do.
Let's see. Next game, Texans versus Titans. What's going on with the Texans? They're down 0-2.
My Super Bowl prediction.
The Tennessee Titans. I said they were going to split with the Titans, so looks
Yeah.
like I'm batting 1,000 here.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's about an 88% chance now that they don't make the playoffs.
Oh, that
I'm
killer
also
Blaine
batting
Gabbert
1,000
was
right now.
doing it.
I said Dallas was going to lose against Carolina, and I said they were going to win against the Giants. I'm 2-0, baby.
Look at this guy.
Let's
Look at
go.
this guy.
Look at this guy.
All
I
right.
gotta look at my
Yeah.
research.
The Titans got by just on like pure guile alone.
They also had Blaine Gabbert at quarterback.
Yeah, that's rough.
So
That's
encouraging for
Hey,
Giant fans. This
Blaine Gabbert brought me to the Super Bowl in my Madden franchise 2 years ago.
See?
So I'm high on him.
On the
Derrick
Blaine
Henry.
train.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry still has yet to like have a breakout game. He had 18
Yeah.
for 56 yards.
Yeah, it's
I mean, the Titans.
14 more games to
Yeah.
make it happen.
Yeah,
Well,
I
to be
think
fair, the first week, they had 2-hour delays every.
that's true. Yeah, they had like a 20-hour game.
Yeah.
against the Dolphins.
He had all day to break out.
And they didn't have Mariota this week. So.
No.
Yeah.
Next game, I don't even know if we want to talk about it, but the Rams apparently went to practice against the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah. They had
Was
a,
it
they had a,
31-0?
It was
What was the score?
34-0.
34-0.
it was a
Sam-
great friendly.
Sam Bradford, impressive stat line, 17 for 27, only 10 incompletes. One of them was an interception, but 90 yards overall.
They are the
That's
team
horrible.
right under Buffalo that I'm streaming defenses against.
I mean, don't blame you. Somebody fucking picked up the Bears, dude. They're playing the Bears this week.
I tried to get them.
So did I.
Someone ready.
Glenn Zerline got hurt.
Yeah.
Was there the kicker?
Yeah.
The first quarter.
Jesus.
They were going for it on 4th down.
Some poor bastards had to deal with a kicker injury in fantasy this week.
For some reason, I don't know why, but I can't believe the fucking Patriots gave up on Brandon Cooks so early.
Yeah.
He went up 7 catches for 159 yards.
Yeah.
Damn. Todd Gurley.
That's because they knew they were getting Josh Gordon.
Oh, yeah, they knew?
Yeah.
Belichick had
has
enough-
a crystal ball, so.
Rams are for real this year, man. It's
Yeah.
scary. Did you see that video?
Yeah.
You sent it to us with McVay
Oh, yeah.
rallying off plays, and he
Oh,
even
that-
from
did
like
you see-
did you
4
see
years
that?
ago, it was like
Did you see that video?
I didn't see that.
That was
real.
He's like,
total bullshit. I will say it right now.
I don't think
Because
so.
if you
no,
look
I
at
think he's a nerd like that.
Oh
dude.
no!
he's
Here's
definitely
I mean, I understand he could definitely do some play call recognition, but if you look at the guy who's doing like the interview, he's like leaning over with the card, and like you see kind of McVay just kind of turning his head a little
I
bit,
gotta watch it again to see that.
and it's like because he's wearing sunglasses, so he could just be darting his eyes over, and the guy's just like, "Wow, that's amazing!
Yeah.
I can't believe he's doing this." To those who can't see me, I have a notepad. I'm just showing everybody. That's what I was doing. Little behind the
Yeah.
sings.
But it was insane. They were asking him about like Redskins plays that he ran. They were like, so when you guys played like the Cowboys on Week 5 in 2014, it was third and long on this drive. Like what? And he just nailed it. He was like, we had Jordan Reed or Pierre Garçon do this, and
Dude, we all
it was
for
like
a touchdown,
whoa.
37 yards.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? But there are people that do have that kind of memory, and it doesn't surprise me that one of them's a professional.
He literally
coach,
said he was
you know,
like I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
All
It
right.
doesn't have anything to do with nerdom.
No,
so,
I'm just saying like that's what
yeah.
he said because it was more like this is what I do. Like
Yeah.
I don't do anything else besides this. Like
Yeah.
I have it down.
All right. So next
a
game
memory
on the docket, John Gruden and the Gruden Raiders against the Denver Broncos. Case Keenum did not throw a touchdown, but the running game, Royce Freeman and Case Keenum had rushing touchdowns. And the Raiders continue to have plays where the top flight pass rusher that they had would have definitely helped out.
But, they're really hard to come by, Brian.
They are super hard to come by.
I don't understand how on earth.
Well, they have
This
two
organization's still
hopefully in
alive.
their 2 first rounders they could find a nice pass rusher, and then
Maybe they should
trade him in
trade for
4
somebody.
years.
Maybe they
Well,
should trade it for a pass
See, the
rusher.
trick is you keep turning 1 pick into 2 picks.
Mm.
Soon enough, you have like every first round pick. for the next like 10 years.
Do you think that's how
and then you get
Gruden's
another
doing?
10-year contract.
Yeah. Or Gruden's
He's
just going
playing the long game.
Gruden's going to quit after their first year in Vegas and be like, I just want to go back to the booth. I don't want to do this. My family needs to see me more often.
Yeah, and then they're going to be like, well, what the fuck do we do?
Oh, shit. Now
We
we're
traded our stars away and left.
He basically's filled the Phil Jackson of the Raiders. Let's see. In the last game, I think I'm going to bring up is the Bears and the Seahawks. Surprise of the night. You guys think the Bears were going to win?
Yes.
I did not. No.
I did.
I would have leaned towards the Bears. Yeah, it's a close game though. I figured.
If they didn't have Khalil Mack, would you have taken the Bears? Because in the preseason, we said the Bears wouldn't do anything, but
Yeah, well, Khalil Mack, that's...
changes the fucking game.
I'm high on Nagy though.
Okay.
You know what I'm high on, Brian? I'm
Life?
high on CGI effects.
Oh, yeah.
I am high on Avengers,
Infinity War,
War. Also high on Thanos.
That was
One little.
That was the wackest shit I've ever seen.
Somebody at work was like, I don't understand. Like, why would they do that? I was like, well, don't forget, ESPN owned by Disney.
Yeah.
Disney owns Marvel. Like, it makes sense.
It's cross promotion, baby.
Although I would
those
argue,
Blu-ray sales.
I would argue if you have a whole group of people and the snap's supposed to get rid of 50% of them, they lost a lot more than 50% of that defense.
Well,
therefore, it's not accurate. They should have lost exactly half.
You know what Disney should do next? Maybe buy EA Sports. They don't have some shit ass graphics like they did.
Yeah, that looked bad. That was bad.
All right, so that is week 2 in a nutshell. A lot of Giants talk. Can't escape it.
A lot of Cowboys talk too.
Yep.
Don't forget.
All right, so now players of the week. Who do you think did it? I mean, we got a lot of guys.
No,
Vontae Davis.
This week,
This week, who's your player of the week?
it's gotta be Pat Mahomes.
I
Mahomes is up
firmly
there.
agree with you.
Yeah, right.
Mahomes is-
I'll go Fitzmagic, just to switch it up. But pretty much in the same boat.
Would be the same, yeah.
For different reasons.
Was-
One, because he's so young, and one, because he's had such a career, and out of nowhere, it's like, how are you doing this?
I mean, AJ Green and Todd Gurley both had 3 TDs each.
Yeah.
But Pat Mahomes is a fucking sniper.
He had 355 passing yards, 3 touchdowns.
I feel like
Sorry.
when I look at a guy
Sorry,
like
I
AJ
apologize.
Green
6
having a game like that,
6. Yeah.
not to take anything away from AJ Green, but I feel like they were like, this is the game plan, this is how we want to exploit this
Yeah.
defense. Where with stuff like Fitzpatrick and Mahomes, it's like, this is the second week in a row, nobody's stopping these guys.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They're,
So
they're
they
hotter
kinda-
hand. Yeah, I get you. All right, so now duds of the week. Who's the biggest fucking douchebag on the field right now?
Can I put an entire offensive line?
You could do that if you like.
I'm going to do that for the Giants. That was embarrassing. Or just make it Hal Hunter, who's the offensive line coach. He's my
The
dud of
whole
week.
organization.
The field goal kickers from the Vikings and Browns.
Ooh, good one.
Not a good day for the brand, as
They-
Pat McAfee
no.
would say.
Nope.
We should do it like how they do like the part of my take Mount Rushmores where we can't repeat. So you got
That's why I'm writing it down.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Perfect.
I think I'm gonna have to repeat. John Gruden's still my fucking dud of the week.
Hey,
I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah, you didn't get it done. He had a lead.
Nope. John Gruden, take a fucking pay cut, bro,
yeah.
and get a real haircut like a man.
Get a win.
They
Get a
paid
win.
him Khalil Mack's money.
Yeah, give Khalil Mack that money. You don't need it. Oh, real estate's cheap in Oakland. Plus, you're moving to Vegas where there's no fucking state tax. I've been really high on real estate jokes lately.
Yeah, oh no, you've been
Just
killing it.
killing them, just running them through.
I'm
Mikey.
going to say a real dud for me is Demaryius Thomas this past week.
DT.
For somebody who was hailed as one of the best wide receivers for a long time, 11 targets, 5 receptions for less than 20 yards.
And he dropped 2 passes.
And he dropped
down the stretch. Too.
Yeah,
Damn.
it was
good.
not. It did not look good. Did not look good.
Cortland
Is
Sutton,
that
time
a-
to step up.
Is that a quarterback thing or is that a wide receiver thing?
No.
Emmanuel Sanders is going off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Case Keenum throws a real catchable ball.
Yeah.
Real catchable ball.
To the defense too.
Hey. All right. Fantasy picks this week. Who is the one guy on your team who you think is going to go off? Or who's the one guy that you wish you had on your team that you know is like, this fucking guy is going to kill me this week?
I've got Josh Gordon on my team, so I'm happy to sit on him for this next week, and then next week, probably going to start him.
All systems go.
All systems go with Josh Gordon.
Go down. Yeah.
I think you put him on Tom Brady's offense.
So Josh Gordon for you?
Josh Gordon for me as like a watch and wait.
Okay.
Seems like an obvious pick, but I'm going to go Antonio Brown. I think after everything going on this past week, everyone's thinking
They're going to blow off some steam?
Yeah, they're playing Tampa Bay, who lets up is 7th in the league to letting up receiving yards.
Yep.
So I think that game's going to be a shootout, and I think Brown's going to eat, and it's going to kind of silence everything that went on this week with that situation.
I'm kind of going the opposite because I'm going to go with Juju.
Juju?
I think he's going to be a top 5 wide receiver this week.
You think with this whole Brown thing going on, Juju gets fed and
Yeah,
gets a lot more of the looks?
For some reason, I think Juju. I think they both have great games.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Big Ben could easily have a 400.
There's going to be enough yardage to go around.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a Monday night game, too.
That's amazing.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
I think right now, I think Sonny Michel might have a fucking game against the Lions. I think
You think this is going to be the breakout game?
he's going to have a nice little game against the Lions. I think he's going to definitely step in. But I also do see my guy is Chris Thompson right now for the Redskins.
He's
been
hot.
killing the ball.
Yep.
He's more of a pass catching back, it seems. So
He is.
Green Bay's got a kind of a weak defense. You know, if he could get past Clay the Bitch Thompson or whatever the fuck his name, who cares? I think he'll be all right. Also, Eric Ebron, he's alive. He's alive and well.
He's alive.
But my guy this week is Chris Thompson. All right, and now, so as we've said before, this is the games to watch. We could pick 2 games to watch, excluding your team's game. So Dallas is playing their
Seahawks.
Dallas is playing Seahawks, so you're obviously going to watch that game.
Yes.
Mikey, who are the 2 other games you were going to watch this week? If you need the schedule, I have it.
I have it here.
Okay.
Chiefs and I'm not gonna say Chiefs and 49ers because Joey's a 49ers fan.
No.
He can watch it. We're barring him from watching the game. That's the rules.
Okay. All right, so I'd throw that game on there.
Okay. That's the Steve Young, Joe Montana ball.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's right.
And honestly, I think the Steelers and Bucks are going to be a real good matchup. I think that's an offense that's running real hot right now, going up against an offense that could eventually jumpstart. So we'll see if that is. And my, all right, you guys go because I have another one that I want to. I think the Jets and Browns are going to be
all right,
a fun matchup.
I'm going to try to switch it up from Mikey's answers. I'm going to go with one Saints and Falcons. I think that has potential as a game. If the Saints, I don't know what they're going to really be this year, considering they haven't looked that hot in their last 2 games. But hopefully they step it up. But the other game I'll throw out there is actually the Sunday night game, Patriots versus Lions. Just going to think Matty Patty going against his old team.
He's going to get his bitch slapped by
Oh, he is, but you know
Billy
what?
B?
Just to watch that, it's going to be hilarious. Just the look on his face of like, damn, I should have stayed.
It's like, why didn't I do what Josh did and quit?
Josh began, yeah.
Joe? So San Francisco versus Kansas City is your team. So now
I'm going to go with a combined 0-4 game here. That's the Giants and the Texans. I think it's do or die here for both teams. Let's see who gets on track. One of the teams have to get on track. So I think that could be a good game. And then, of course, Pittsburgh and the Bucks.
Okay. Everybody's liking that. That's the
Monday night
game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be a very interesting. A lot of storylines going into that game.
Oh, yeah.
Pittsburgh needs to win, right?
Yep.
It's like one of these weeks Fitzpatrick's got to fall back, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the fall watch, or what's going to happen? All right, so my 2 games, so obviously the Giants and Houston are out of the question for me. I'm going to take the Rams versus the Chargers. I think that's going to be a fun LA game. No one's going to be there. They'll show up after halftime. So that'll be a lot of fun.
I like that too.
And I also will take I'm gonna take Tennessee Jacksonville.
Okay.
I think that could be a lot of fun. I did say that Jacksonville is not that good in the preseason Palooza, and I said that them and the Titans will split, and I'll see if my prediction holds true.
Mariota playing, do you know?
I hope so, because if it's Blaine Gabbert again, it's
right,
over.
if he plays, it could be interesting.
Yeah.
Technically, right now, your prediction will be correct no matter what.
Exactly. Somebody's split.
Somebody's splitting.
He practiced today, but he split reps with Gabbert.
All right.
Reps, so
Okay, so those
it
are.
also says neither would be a fantasy option whatsoever.
I see it more of as a running a game for
Of course.
Tennessee. Maybe this is the week that Derrick Henry comes out, because
It's tough against that defense. Though.
yeah. Okay, so that is actually the show.
That is. Anything else you guys are looking forward to this week in football? Any other games? Any other?
Joe, can you break down sports gambling for us? Just really precise.
Joe's gambling.
Yeah.
corner.
You know what? Here's a question for you, Joey. I bet Brazil versus USA, soccer friendly, right?
Yeah, okay.
I bet $10 that Brazil was gonna win.
Okay.
They won 3-0. I lost because they didn't cover, I guess, the over, which was they needed to score 4 or win 3-1. They needed 4 goals. Four goals.
Did you bet the under over?
I think I bet the over.
I don't know.
Right. So you didn't bet on who's going to win the game. You didn't actually bet the
You
line.
bet on what the score was
You
going to be.
bet the under
Okay.
over.
Paul, that changes everything.
That's what the
Because I
over-under
was
is. You're betting on
real
what
angry.
the score is going to be.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, it was only $10, so.
Yeah. I owe my boss $1.25.
Joey, I mortgaged my house on this friendly.
Yeah.
So, are kidneys important?
Yeah.
That's the second question.
Joey, who do you have winning Seahawks versus Cowboys?
Are we going with the spread here or what?
No. Just like in your
Over
opinion.
under.
Over under. Am I gonna have a good day or a bad
In your
day?
opinion, who do you think pulls out?
So in Dallas, I would definitely take Dallas, but they're in Seattle.
Mm.
12th man. Watch
12th.
out for that
Do you
12th man.
believe in that?
Seattle wins.
I don't know if there's 11 men on that defense right now.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Alrighty.
That's very good. Okay, so now it comes to the point that everybody's been waiting for. It's the end of the show.
It is.
It's now we plug plug all of our shit and say what's up next. All right, so we'll start with Mikey. Why don't you go
All right.
ahead?
You can find me on Twitter at dquats, and you can find me on Instagram at mdquat. And if you're in the mood to get married, or if you're in the mood to, buy some fantasy football shirts, find me at T Factors on Etsy.
I'm just gonna say, why don't you start off with if you're in the mood for fantasy football shirts, and then go to wedding shirts.
That-
I'm primarily a wedding company.
Yeah, but you're on a fucking football podcast.
You know what?
Not on a marriage.
You know what?
podcast.
People who follow football also get married. It's a proven fact.
If there was,
I bet you there are more married football fans than there are not married football fans.
Well, that's just a law of numbers.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
two people.
I'm playing to my advantage here. If you're married and play football, maybe I'll make a shirt for you. Let me know.
There you go.
Is it? I'm married and I play football, but my wife holds my balls.
It's gonna be one of those dumb shirts.
What-
that
what
you
was
see on
it?
Facebook
Number
all the
one
time.
craft pick
A
for
big
the
box of
craftsman
macaroni
and
and cheese.
fantasy football player in you.
Andrew?
Yeah, you can find me Twitter at Park6Core, Twitch, Bullhammer, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Joe?
I got nothing to plug. Thank you guys for having me on.
Go to mybookie.com.
Yeah.
Support Joe.
Hashtag
Yeah.
Jmart
Yeah.
to find his.
I take 10%.
Joey, we would love to have you on the show
Absolutely.
any other time. Whenever
Let
you're
me
free and you want to
Representing the
come on,
Niners faithful.
Thank
on
you.
our show.
you're more than
Anytime.
welcome. Open arms.
And also, you can
Thank
find
you,
me
guys.
at Movie Mayhem Pod, Movie Mayhem Podcast on Instagram. And also, we're gonna probably be doing another show this week. We did Predator last week, so we're on the chase for 10,000 downloads.
Hey,
you
when's
see the
that
new
new
Predator?
when's that new Halloween come out?
I think Halloween.
Does it come out on Halloween?
No, it comes out.
Yeah.
I think late October though.
We should go see that.
That
'Cause
looks
I'm
really
down
good.
for that one.
Yeah,
I saw The Nun the other day.
Oh yeah.
How's that?
It was scary up until you got to see the nun for longer than 5 seconds, and then it was just like, wow, this is really bad.
October 19th.
October
October
19th.
19th. We
Let's
should go see
New
that.
Halloween.
I don't like scary movies, but I'll go see
You know
it.
what I did today? On Switch, they have like the paid online service now, and you get a bunch of free NES games. I played a shit ton of Tecmo Bowl today.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
Bo
it's free on
Jackson.
there. Oh yeah.
Bo Jackson.
That's
And,
where the Raiders work.
And they have a filter that puts like the CRT television
shit.
fuzz on it. Oh my god.
That sounds
yeah.
great.
All right.
That's pretty
Alrighty.
cool.
So we will
Well,
see you next week
Catch you later.
for week 3.
Not that one. The
Oh
other
yeah,
one.
thank you. I do that every week.